All right, guys, let's work on loosening up your adductors, okay? Muscles on the inside of your leg here get really tight in a lot of us, especially if you're doing any repetitive deadlifting, repetitive squatting, running, sprinting, jumping. And many of us don't give them enough attention, right? It can lead to dysfunction, pain, not only in our hips, our knees, our low back, but it's something you need to address, okay? So today I'm gonna give you a really simple technique. It's called an adductor smash, all right? So you can use a lacrosse ball for this. You can use a kettlebell. I'll show you both. I also like to use a technique with a barbell here if you have a pivoting end of the bell on the end of that bar. You can do a really cool, easy mobilization with that, okay? So this is a soft tissue mobilization, and we're gonna use these items to get some pressure on those muscles to break up the tissue, get them to relax. Important to note, when we're working on our adductors, if you're looking at the inside of your leg, we have some structures in the bottom 1/3 of our femur we don't wanna be smashing. We have some structures in the upper 1/3 we don't want to be smashing. So you want to stay right in about that middle third of your thigh on the inside, okay? So if you're using a kettlebell or a lacrosse ball, you're going to lay down on your stomach for this. You're going to put whatever leg you're working on out to the side. You're going to get some pressure into it, and you're going to kind of just roll back and forth on that muscle. Really let that leg sink into that tissue, break up any kind of adhesions going on in there, okay? Similarly, same thing with the kettlebell. You may get a little bit more pressure with this since it's up higher. You can also just find a spot where it's really tight in your adductor and kind of just let your leg sit on there, okay? So that would be kind of right here in that middle 1/3 like we talked about. If you find a tender spot, just focus on your breathing, let that leg sink into there. All right? Now the third technique I told you about, we're gonna use the barbell over here, okay? So for this barbell technique, you wanna set it up at a good height, right, to get that middle 1/3 of your thigh like we talked about, and it needs to have a pivoting end on here, right? We don't wanna be turning the whole bar. So what you're gonna do, we're working on the inside of our right leg here. You're gonna get it right on the middle 1/3. You're gonna kind of lean into it, and you're just gonna roll back and forth on your adductor here, okay? Really get that to loosen up. For those of you who don't work on your adductors at all, and you do a lot of those repetitive motions like squatting, deadlifting, running all the time, be prepared for some discomfort, some tightness with this. The more you do it over time, the more it'll loosen up, the more tolerable it will become, okay? Give it a shot, let me know what you think.